Hi YouTube, it's Alexis back in with another video. So I wanted to go into how I started my photography business, and I kind of wanted to share just where I started, kind of where I am now, but I wanted to get this information out for anybody who is trying to start a photography business or just feels super inspired this year to like really get after their dreams and goals. So if you're super interested in what I have to say, then just keep on watching. Oh, my hair is so crazy today. I have super long hair and I'm thinking about cutting it. I don't know. New year, new me. I don't know. Should I? So first things first, kind of what drew me to photography. So I have always been such a creative person. I absolutely love everything arts and crafts, and I am always on Pinterest. So with that being said, Pinterest also shows and curates, a whole section of what you like. And oftentimes it would be arts and crafts, but it would also be photography. And in specific, it would be photography of couples and kind of like the cinematic, like dreamy love story. And that is what drew me to photography. That's what made me be like, yep, I really want to photograph couples. So with all of that, I started looking into kind of how much cameras were, how much lenses were, kind of where I should start. And back then I didn't have a lot of money to, drop thousands of dollars on camera. So I first started out looking on Facebook Marketplace. So I actually found a camera body. It was my Canon RP, and I actually still shoot on it today. This Canon RP, it retails for I think $1,200, and I actually got it for $600 on Marketplace, which was such a blessing. So I ended up scrounging up some money. I paid, for the camera, and I started taking photos with it. So it is actually a mirrorless camera, and I did a little bit of research before I bought it, and I saw that mirrorless cameras were kind of what was in right now versus the DSLR, and I kind of just left it at that. I didn't really do too much research or anything like past that. I was just like, what can I do to get started? So anyway, I ended up using the kit lens that came with it, and the photos, they were okay. They were a little bit fuzzy. I feel like a lot of it had to deal with my editing too in the way beginning. Like I definitely could have made the kit lens work now versus when I first started. But I ended up upgrading to the Canon 50mm lens. And for those of you who don't know about this lens, it is so great. It is super cheap compared to other lenses. So this lens, I want to say I paid either $125 or $150, and I grew my business off of this one lens, and it was just such a game changer compared to the kit lens. So I ended up using that for a while, but since I have upgraded to my 2870mm lens, which that is my baby girl. That is such a good lens. I just upgraded this past summer with it. But yeah, so that's a little bit of a background story of what inspired me, how I got the camera, and what I did to start, marketing myself, or about to start to talk about what I did to market myself. So first things first, I knew I needed to take photos. I knew I needed a way to showcase my work. So with that, I actually did a lot of free photo shoots for a little bit just to try to build up my portfolio and tell people, hey, I'm here. I want to take your photos. I really want to grow my business. So that's kind of what I did. I started taking family photos for a lot of my friends, and I made a website. So I originally started with Squarespace, but Squarespace actually doesn't allow you to send photo galleries like after you're done editing and everything. So I actually switched to Pixieset probably like a year ago, because I can actually send my photo galleries to my clients, and I can also do contracts. I can also make invoices. It just makes it so easy for photographers, and I highly recommend using Pixieset. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. It's just been so helpful for me, you know, juggling my full-time job. At the time, I was also in college. Your girl has since graduated. But anyway, I was also, you know, balancing college, work, trying to build a small business, and Pixie Set was a game changer. Now on to the marketing side of things. Let me take a drink break. I don't know if y'all know, but Alani is like my favorite. It's so bad. I buy like the big pack at Sam's and I drink one every day, and I don't know if it's good for my health, probably not. I just drink a ton of water to like make up for it maybe. So now getting into advertising. So in the area that I live in, it is super popular for vacationers, and obviously the beach. The beach is so stunning and I just love it so much. But anyway, I would post in Facebook groups that I have a small business. This is my photography, look at my website, look at my photos, and I actually got a lot of leads that way. So people in these Facebook groups would post, you know, in search of photographer, I'm here from these dates to these dates, is anyone available? And I would just always comment my name, and sometimes they would stick, sometimes they wouldn't. The market is very saturated with photographers around this area, but there's definitely a way that you can get bookings because there are so many people, and so many people have different editing styles too. So your work might reach out, you know, to somebody who really loves the soft, warmer tones versus somebody who is super airy and bright, or someone who is dark and moody. So don't count yourself out of, you know, oh, my work is not as good as so-and-so's work. Because everyone has to start somewhere, for one, and then also people have different, you know, desires for what they want their photos to look like. So anyway, that's a little bit of a tangent. So I started commenting my name in these groups, and I ended up getting bookings, and a lot of my bookings happen from family, friends, at work and everything as well. But also some of the vacation people, which was so awesome because they would go back home, you know, let's say they're in Tennessee, they would go back home, they'd be like, oh my gosh, I just had this great experience with Lexi Jade Photography. If y'all go to the Panhandle, you need to book with her. And the super awesome thing is a lot of my clients are like that. I actually have a lot of people who recommend me word of mouth, which is so great. Such a great community, and I am so appreciative of all of my clients. And then also the other thing too is the people that I work with. Oftentimes I see people post, you know, on Facebook, I need a photographer, and somebody will comment, oh my gosh, I know a girl, she's so great, you need to book with her. And that has helped me get bookings. So yeah, really, I just was using Facebook. I mean, I have my Instagram and everything too, but at the time when I first started, Facebook was my main source of getting clients to get photos done. So yeah. Okay, so going into the curation of these Facebook posts. So in these small groups or large groups on Facebook, they have this thing called Small Business Saturday, and Small Business Saturday is where you can post your small business for free, pretty much, and get the word out about your photos or whatever you're selling or anything like that. And so I actually would use ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. I would use that to help curate, you know, comments for the post, because I love my pictures and I want to make sure that everyone else knows that I care about how the photos look, that I love to capture the emotion of the people that I'm photographing, like, and that these people were just so dear to my heart. And ChatGPT really helped me get that across to the other person on the screen looking at my photos. And then also the other thing that I would do is create hashtags for, you know, the area that I'm in, to reach out to more people. So yeah, I really love using ChatGPT because it really puts it into easy, simple words that are super beautiful, like in a caption. Like I'll kind of add like kind of what I would say for some of these posts. But yeah, I really love doing that. I really love my AI. Kind of forgot to mention that I use Adobe Lightroom and I also use Adobe Photoshop. So I actually have a subscription with Creative Cloud, and it allows me to use the Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop for, I want to say I pay like $60 a month now. It used to be $30 when I was a student, but now it's a little bit more expensive. But honestly, I'm not really sure of any other photo editing kind of tools to use, and so I have always just used Lightroom and then Photoshop. Yeah, that is kind of how I started my photography business. I have owned it for 3 years now, and I'm actually starting to see so much growth this past year. And I think a lot of it has to deal with me graduating, getting more of my target market of people. So like getting more couples and engagements and weddings. And yeah, I'm just super excited for 2026 for my photography business. I would absolutely love to do more weddings and more engagements and couple photos, and I am just super excited for just my growth, but I am also super excited for y'all's growth. So with all that being said, I really hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you have any questions or anything like that that I did not address in this video, please leave it down below. I'm sorry that I was a little bit, bouncing around everywhere. I really need to get a little bit more organized, but if some of you don't know, I am a type B person through and through, and right after this video, I actually have to clean my apartment and start editing some photos. So yeah, but anyway, I hope you guys have a very wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!